Hey guys, what's good? It's Josh from Athletic Preparation, and today we're going to walk you through a full body mobility and stretching routine just to loosen up your hips, your lower back, your ankles, and again, just kind of hitting all the major joints, just so you move well, get the blood flowing a little bit, and yeah, just feel better and just feel fluid, right? Get loose. So anyways, full body, we're going to start on the ground, so we're going to get straight into it. So first things first, so we're going to start with some ankle circles. So again, just get some space, and this is going to be a little bit more of like in a flow, so meaning keep you moving almost like yoga as opposed to a static stretch. You can hold it for a static stretch, but I just like to keep it moving and kind of keep a natural flow going, and you can just go as you need, right? And again, we're gonna start with some ankle circles. So you're gonna lay on your back, lock your fingers behind your thigh, relatively straight leg, and we're gonna go ankle circles. We're gonna go about 5 clockwise, 5 counterclockwise. Shoulders are back, you're not crunched up, just lay back. Same thing, switch legs, clockwise. Try not to keep your leg bent, try to keep it pretty straight, slow and smooth. This isn't a race, just moving, right? Seeing how big of a circle you can make, right? So that's number 1. Going off that, number 2, we're gonna go knees bent, and we're gonna go left, so left, right, and down through the center rocks. So again, let your knees fall to the right, so you get a big stretch for that lower back and those hips. Falling from side to side, trying to keep your shoulder blades best you can on the ground, don't let them come up. Try to keep them on the ground. So again, just getting loose. Oh, we gotta go out to the center too, okay? So just turn your abs on, let them fall to the side. You can add some overpressure by grabbing it, right? So if your knees don't fall, again, you can grab with some overpressure just to stretch that glute out a little bit. And then obviously go out to the center, tap the heels. Next, we're just gonna go into some hip internal rotations. So I'll just face the camera. So anyways, get our feet kind of wide, and all we're gonna do is keeping your hips on the ground. So again, don't turn your hip and lift your hip off the floor. Try to keep your hips level on the ground. Drop your knee towards the opposite inside of that foot. As far as you can go, you should feel a stretch inside the hip. If your hip comes off the ground a little bit, that's okay, but try to keep them on. Again, drop the knee inside the hip as far as you can. You get a deep internal stretch, the best way we can describe it. And again, take your time, push. You can add a little bit of overpressure if you need to. So having good internal rotation for your hips is great, especially for squats and things like that. We don't want any restricted movement. You want your body to be moved fluidly. So we'll go 5 on each side. And then again, I can go through that series 1 or 2 more times or however long as I want. I can hold the stretches as long as I want to as well. I'd recommend at minimum 30 seconds. And then obviously you can do it longer if you'd like to. So anyways, that's hip and return rotation. That's kind of lower body. Now we're gonna flip over onto our stomach, and we're gonna go through upper body or start integrating everything. So next one, we're gonna go push up to up dogs. So getting on the floor, doing our push up. Again, pushing your hips to the ceiling, forehead towards your toes. You can stretch the calves out by kind of marching in place. Do maybe 5 marches, keeping the hips high. Pushing your heel towards the floor, stretching out the calves, lower back, and then we're gonna come forward into a pigeon stretch, okay? So just in case you need to see from the front, so we're gonna come up, swivel that foot towards the opposite hand, and then sit back into the hip, all right? So you should feel a good stretch on your glute. So again, we'll sit here, 10, 30 seconds, keep your chest up, right? And push your hip to the floor. Don't just collapse with bad posture, right? You're gonna feel a big change in the position of your joints and the position of your body. It's gonna dictate kind of what muscles are getting stretched. So again, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna breathe. I like to take my back heel and kind of push it or kind of reach my foot back to the wall behind me. You can walk your hands around, see how it feels in different spots. So again, you guys can freestyle, listen to your body, man. Just move and just see what feels good, right? You can walk in the opposite direction, you don't have to stay stuck. So that's part 2, pigeon. Then we're gonna go straight to adductor rockback, which is a groin. So I'm just gonna put my foot straight out to the side, so it's in line with my knee. Hands are in the front, and then I'm just gonna push my hips back, okay? And I'm not gonna let my posture round. So keep your chest up, sit back, open up that right hip and that groin, rock in, rock out. You push your hips all the way to the ground just to open up the hip flexor a little bit, so you can push your hip towards the floor. Just trying to get the body going through the full range of motion, guys. So again, maybe 5 rocks, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side, okay? So go to pigeon stretch on the other side. I'll go a little bit quicker since, just for the video's sake. But again, it's mainly in that glute stretch. And once we hit that for 30 seconds, again, I'll show you the rock back from this side. So get that foot out to the side, and again, sit back. You can even rotate your foot, externally rotate the foot, internally rotate the foot. Push the hips forward, chest up to stretch out the front side of that hip. Sit back. Again, I kind of like the flows, kind of keeps you moving and kind of keeps you engaged in the movement versus just kind of feeling bored and lost. Again, I can go through that series 2 or 3 times, holding the stretches as long or as short as I'd like to, but again, minimum 30 seconds. Go ahead and hit that like if this mobility routine looks good for you already and you already start feeling better. So now we're gonna move on to the upper body. So we're gonna start with, again, with the shoulders, kind of last, the big muscle groups that typically are tight and stiff in a lot of athletes. First things first, get a nice wide base. And all I'm gonna do is put my forehead towards the floor, and I'm gonna have my arms up over my head. And then what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna push my ribs in that direction to try to open up the lat, okay? So I'm gonna push my ribs in that direction and side bend, so they should almost look like the letter C, or obviously the opposite C if you go in the other direction. So anyways, so I'm gonna sit back, number one, walk my arms out as far as they can go, kind of crawl them out my fingertips. And then once they're there, I'm just gonna I can just keep the one arm up. I can push the ground away with my opposite arm, and just so that way I get a good side bend. So number one, I'm pushing my ribs to the floor, or to the wall, but also to the ground, okay? So gently getting into that. So again, just reaching out, pushing in that direction, hands going this way, hips are going that way as well. And then I can come back, do the same thing on the other side. Don't forget to keep pushing towards the floor too. When you're down there, don't reach like your head to the floor, reach your chest and kind of like your armpit. So it's easy to think you're getting to the floor by reaching with your face. So make sure you're trying to lay on the floor with basically your torso, your upper body. So anyways, you can hold those stretches 30 seconds to a minute. Going on to part number two, now we're just gonna integrate the tricep. All I'm gonna do is as I'm sit back in that same position, once I'm here, I did my side bends. Now I'm just gonna put my elbow on the ground and reach my hand down my back. So once I'm here, I'm just gonna reach down, reach to the back of my neck, and then push again my armpit to the ground, reaching back, breathing, relaxing, and I can just alternate sides, elbow on the ground, reaching back. And again, guys, be active on these too, like try to touch your back, try to get your fingertips, walk them down like centimeter by centimeter, get a little bit further each stretch. Obviously you do both sides, so that's gonna be we did the lats with the side bends, the triceps, and then now we're gonna do the open up the chest. So you can play with your arm on different angles. So we'll be on all fours in a second. I'm gonna put my arms out to my side, or one hand will be underneath me, one will be to my side, and then you can try the arm at different arm slots, okay? Obviously you come up here, you're gonna get more lat, you're gonna come out to the side, you're gonna get a little bit more chest. So again, feel free to play with your arm in different arm slots to feel a different stretch in different areas, okay? So on your hands and knees, fingertips facing away from me. And again, I'm just gonna drop my shoulder to the ground and turn away. So I'm gonna drop my arm, turn away, and again, you can lift your wrist up or your hand up. You can try a different slot, see what feels good. You can also internally or externally rotate your hand, right? So if you turn your palm up, you might get a different feeling, or your thumb up towards the ceiling. Now obviously I'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm kind of reaching, being active, reaching for that wall while I'm turning my body in the opposite direction. And then really monitor your breathing. 5 seconds in your nose, 5 second good exhale. Obviously open up your chest, open up your biceps. You can rock back and forth between the two, meaning I can kind of push, hold for 5 seconds, and then just kind of rock back and forth. But key part that you notice if you made it this far is the breathing's gonna be the most important part. So again, once you feel yourself exhale for about 5 seconds, you should really feel yourself kind of sink into that stretch a little bit, all right? So that's gonna be a huge benefit to obviously relaxing and kind of getting that range of motion. So chest stretches are number 3, I believe. And then the last thing, we're gonna finish up with some side lying rotations. So again, we're gonna be on our backs, bringing your knee up really nice and high. So bottom leg is straight, top knee is bent, grab, lock, and then with the front hand, I'm gonna reach. The key part of this is making sure your ribs rotate, okay? We're trying to get your thoracic, your upper back moving between your shoulder blades. So number one, I'm gonna reach and roll forward as far as I can, right? I'm actively reaching towards you. Then nice, slow and smooth. I'm just reaching up overhead. Got a phone call. Trying to lay that shoulder back to the ground. Reach, roll. Just try to lay back. This is the biggest position right here. I'll do the other side just so you can see. So again, lock the thigh, reach and rolling forward. Nice, slow, smooth. Eyes are following the fingertips. Trying to lay that shoulder to the ground. So this will help you dissociate your lower body from your upper body. So anyways, that's a super simple full body, you got your calves, your hamstrings, your hips, shoulders, full body mobility routine. You can spend 10 to 20 minutes to do it. Do it before you hop in the shower, do it before your workout, get you moving, get you in the right mental state. So go ahead and make sure you hit that like button. If this was beneficial for you, subscribe to the channel and grab your explosive athlete training template that we have for you down below. It's absolutely free, so go ahead and take advantage of that today. Appreciate you.